morning, good people. It is a beautiful day, December 6, 2020, with me, Saranraj, live from UniTV. Our main news today is about the issues of cultural dimensions faced by companies in international human resource management. Cultural dimensions are based on the concept of the idea that any culture has to deal with fundamental topics. Dimensions can thus help to analyze cultural differences and their implications. There are two methods used to explain cultural dimensions. First method is the cultural dimensions theory of Hofstede, developed by Geert Hofstede in 1980, while the second method is the model of Trompenas, developed by Fons Trompenas and Charles Hampton Turner. Let us continue with our reporter on site, Ms. Nur Shazwannie, to elaborate further.
Hello, continue with me Shazwannie in America. So let's talk about the power distance in America. Power distance of globalization is known where there is no equality among the people and usually less powerful people expect less and accept the unequal power distribution within a culture. Culture with high hierarchism tends to be described by much inequality between superiors and subordinates, whereas culture with low hierarchism show a greater degree of equality, with prestige and reward more equally shared between superiors and subordinates. For example, an organization McDonald's is committed to business culture on the well-being issues so many of their customers care about. McDonald's always strive and focus on menu choices, activity, physical and user information. Also, the culture of McDonald's is always focused on achievement and maintaining the performance so that customer loyalty is maintained. According to Hofstede, the power distance in the US has a relatively low score of 40. However, it remains stable. This shows that the sense of acceptance from customers across the US culture in par with organization implemented in America. American culture allows communication to be direct towards a more informal approach and encourage employees to participate during workplace discussion. Furthermore, in America, it is more common to have high position and representation in organizations to create a healthy work environment for McDonald's employees. Therefore, managers always want to develop healthy working relationship with a clear hierarchy. Now, let's move on to the next reporter, Wan Damia.
Good morning, good people. It is a beautiful day. Continue with me, Wan Damia, live from Starbucks, Seattle, Washington. One of cultural dimensions discussed by group researchers is in-group collectivism. It can be defined as the degree of which individuals describe loyalty, pride, and cohesiveness in their families or organizations. In-group collectivism is the same as one of the cultural dimensions in theory, which is individualism versus collectivism. Starbucks is one of the companies that practice in-group collectivism. The company operates as a one team because Starbucks team manager and team members work as a team when working instead of focusing on individuals' working ability and personal achievement. When the company faces any problem, they will not make a decision individually. Instead, they will form a team or a group discussion to develop a solution or strategy in order to overcome the problem. Starbucks also creates warm and friendly relationship between the employees. Now, let's continue to the next reporter.
We continue with the next report. Gender egalitarianism, or known as gender equality, is a level of equality between men and women. Same goes as femininity and masculinity in Hofstede, which shows countries with lower and higher of gender equality. Gender equality also occurs in a business, especially in a large company. For example, the Nike company in US was hit by controversy about 2 years ago in terms of gender. This is because there are 4 women who work at this company has filed a lawsuit in federal court for violating the law, as well as the payment of unequal pay and also sexual harassment against women. After receiving numerous complaints, Nike says it will provide competitive salary adjustment of up to 10%. But Laura Salerno said that Nike still continues with a good all-boys culture, where if a woman enters the company, they were treated more harshly and only earned lower salaries and bonuses than men. Finally, the court ordered the Nike company to pay its employees' salaries or bonuses fairly, regardless of gender, and imposed image. And now, Nike has become a famous shoes company in the world. We continue with the next reporter. Thank you.
Now, uncertainty avoidance. According to the Global Leadership in Organization Behavior Effectiveness, uncertainty avoidance is the extent to which a society, organization, or a group relies on social norms, rules, procedures to reduce the uncertainty of future events. Societies with high uncertainty avoidance tend to always prepare for unforeseen future. On the other hand, societies with low uncertainty avoidance are more relaxed with unanticipated and ambiguity situations or events. When it comes to international human resource management perspectives, the level of uncertainty avoidance of a culture influences the compensation distribution. For example, the United States mostly used the performance-based pay as it possessed low uncertainty avoidance. While in some countries with high uncertainty avoidance cultures do not accept performance-based pay as it is offensive to tell the employee that they have poor performance. Instead, they prefer seniority-based pay where they value recognition and job securities. The issue will arise if a company decided to expand their business across borders. In this case, IHRM managers should identify the level of uncertainty avoidance of the host country. As an example, multinational company Nestle. Nestle is from Switzerland, and according to Hofstede, Switzerland scores 58 in uncertainty avoidance. According to Nestle Real Rewards Package, it motivates the performers to give their best performance. It proves that Nestle utilizes the performance-based pay system. So, the problem will exist when the compensation program will contradict with cultures in high uncertainty avoidance. Now let's move on to the next reporter, Emyza Amirah.
Moving on to the next report. Next, it is about the differences on long-term orientation and short-term orientation issues in international human resource management. As we know, long-term orientation is more focused on the future, whereas short-term orientation concentrates more to the present or past. In depth, short-term orientation want an immediate reward, such as the United States. We can see that most Asian countries are categorized in a long-term orientation, where they tend to have perseverance and thrift. International human resource managers need to consider the difference of this culture dimension. This is because an issue will rise where the employees cannot adapt with a situation where there is no centralized time orientation made by the company. As an international human resource manager, to solve this issue, it is challenging, as we cannot force one culture to shift directly into another culture. Nevertheless, human resource manager has to undertake solutions to change the employee's time orientation to fit home country's organization goals. It is a way to reduce anxiety, increase job satisfaction, and decrease the gap of differences. We can take Honda as an example. As I am in Japan, Honda is a Japanese company where it is a long-term orientation country. In this situation, Honda is operated in the US where it is a short-term oriented country. In Japan, Honda's employees work for their future and company's future. They also make sure they are financially secure in the long term. On the contrary, the employees in US are concerned more about today's achievement and to ensure to meet immediate needs. It is difficult for both cultures to adjust to the difference in time orientation because both cultures are very different. Now, let's get back to the studio with Mr. Saranraj.
As the anchor for today, some recommendations can be practiced by all to avoid these issues. First, the company can prepare a cross-cultural trainings. The cross-cultural trainings will improve interactions with host country individuals by reducing misunderstandings and inappropriate behaviors. Next, the company needs to learn the client's cultures, learn about the things that clients and customers like and value. Lastly, companies show appreciation of cultural differences by asking employees or co-workers to share aspects of their clients' cultures with everyone else. As our motto is to serve you with the current issues, we will come back again with another issue next time. Thank you and see you again. Signing off from Saranraj.
Welcome to my guide.
Action.